If we want to survive, we have to make it until dawn.
Say that again?
Until dawn.
So I don't know if you heard, but a little well-known game called Until Dawn is getting a movie. It was announced almost a year ago at this point, with director David F. Sandberg at the helm, and writers Blair Butler and David Dauberman working on the story. We finally got a trailer recently, and man, people are not happy. At least fans of Until Dawn aren't that happy. And honestly, it's understandable. After the trailer ended, everyone was asking the same question. Why is it even called Until Dawn? Because when compared to the video game, it bears little to no resemblance, aside from the title and the cabin in the woods. Before I get into this trailer and what the movie is about, I want to briefly tell you what the game was about. So basically, twin sisters Hannah and Beth go missing, and 1 year after their disappearance, 8 friends return to the cabin in the mountains belonging to the parents of their friend Josh, who is the brother of the missing sisters. But not long after they get there, bad shit starts to happen and becomes a fight to survival for the whole night. It's an interactive story game with different characters living and dying based on your decisions, as well as different endings and outcomes. That's the bare bones, simple explanation. Now, what is the movie about? Well, it's about a chick and a group of her friends looking for her sister, which leads them to a creepy cabin in the woods, where they soon discover that they're stuck in a time loop where every night a monster or killer will pursue them, and every time they die, the night repeats itself, only with a different killer. So now they must survive until dawn so they can get out. Yeah, but it isn't obvious. It's not that similar to the game. Hell, even the seasons are different. The game takes place in winter, while this is clearly spring or summer. But the filmmakers were very much aware of this. You see, before the release of the trailer, they did a first look video where they basically explained that they couldn't recreate the game, since the game is all about your different choices and decisions that help shape the narrative. You know, who lives, who dies, which ending you get. So since they couldn't recreate that into a movie, they didn't really try, and they explained that this is supposed to be more of a spin-off and taking place in the same world as the game. And them dying over and over again every night is supposed to be kind of similar to the game, where in different playthroughs, different characters will die. Now that's a decent enough explanation, I guess. At least they're acknowledging right out the gate that it's going to be different from the game. So this video was to set expectations, but maybe more so try to offer an explanation and defense from the criticism that it's going to undoubtedly receive anyway. But then everyone had a very similar reaction upon hearing this and watching this video. Why even call it Until Dawn? And here's the thing, as a movie, it doesn't look that bad at all. So it kind of sucks that it's tied to the video game, because on its own, it looks like a really fun concept. Is it wholly original? No, not really. It's basically Groundhog's Day meets Cabin in the Woods, or I guess Happy Death Day meets Cabin in the Woods. Still a fun concept nonetheless. And the fact that it's rated R is really the icing on the cake. So no doubt that it's probably gonna be really bloody. But it's hard to shake the feeling that this feels like it was supposed to be a different movie with the Until Dawn logo slapped on top of it. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like this before. Now, I'm a fan of David F. Sandberg. After finishing up his Shazam movies, I was waiting for his return to horror. In the horror space, he's mostly known for Lights Out and Annabelle creation, but even before then, he has nearly a decade of short horror films on his channel, Pony Smasher, and a lot of behind the scenes information about his films. And he's just one of those guys I can watch talk about movies for hours. So naturally, I was excited when he finally announced that he's coming back to the horror genre. Because at this point, he's 4 feature-length films into his career, so I was really curious in seeing what exactly he learned now and how he was going to apply it to his new horror films. But as soon as I saw that it was going to be Until Dawn, I just knew that no matter how good the movie was going to be, it's going to upset a lot of fans, because it's going to change a lot. And even though I have faith that it'll be a solid movie, it's still going to get bashed because it's nothing like the source material that it's based off of, which is honestly a shame, but I understand why. You see, as a Silent Hill and Resident Evil fan, I get what they're going through. It sucks seeing an adaptation not resemble the original property, but at least with Until Dawn, the movie actually looks like it's going to be pretty solid, even though it's nothing like the source material. So I'm calling it now. This movie is going to be pretty solid. I mean, it looks like a fun and interesting concept. I'll venture to say that it might even be really good, but as an adaptation, it's going to be bad. Now personally, I think the best way to view it, if you do plan on seeing it that is just look at it as its own thing, because as an adaptation, it's more likely going to piss you off. Now I've read a lot of comments and watched quite a few videos of people who were not happy with the trailer, but even majority of them agree that if it just wasn't called Until Dawn, it actually looks like a pretty fine movie. So needless to say, this movie has an uphill battle, and I don't think it's going to win over the majority of fans. Though best case scenario, the fans of Until Dawn who do end up watching this end up enjoying it for what it is. But I have a feeling that those who aren't in the Until Dawn fandom will probably end up enjoying it regardless. Now as for me, personally I am looking forward to it because it's a new horror film from a director that I like. Yeah, I'm got shit else to say, so see ya.
This therapy is a jerk off. You know it, and I know it.
She blows! Oh, it could have given me a heart attack.